I'm sitting on the floor with my legs crossed, and I am getting the best glute stretch that you can imagine. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Let's go. Hey, loves, how are you? Hope you're feeling good. Happy Friday. Today, I wanted to touch on something that I have been getting a lot of questions regarding, and that is why my teas are limited and why I only make a small batch of everything and why I don't restock. So, I've been getting that a lot. I've been explaining here and there, but I wanted to tell you the reason behind it. It's not just something that I wanted to do. I mean, I would love to sell as many teas as possible, but unfortunately, the way my brand and everything is set up, I just kind of, you know what, I'm gonna get into it so I don't like spoil it. So when I first started doing my teas, I was making everything in batches of only 25. And once I sold out of those, I would restock. And once I sold out, I would restock. Because I do this full time, the money that I use to restock is the money that I get from sales. So as you buy teas, I am able to, from that, you know, I'm going to use my hands here. From the chunk of the shirt, I'm going to take a piece to kind of pay for a living in terms of rent and utilities and gas and food and all that. And then another chunk, so basically pay myself. And then the other chunk, I'm able to break into paying the cost of the product and also, so the cost, which was the cost that I used at the very beginning, and then I'm able to restock with the rest of the money. So I was doing that at the beginning, and it was fine, everything was good. But what I started realizing was a lot of my repeat customers, when they would show up looking for new products, I didn't have any because I was, again, using part of the money for feeding and living, part of the money to pay back the cost because I had to initially borrow money, and then the rest to restock. So now I've gotten to a place where I'm able to like kind of do those without even thinking about it. I like how my hands just moved right there. But so I was doing that, and I had a lot of customers that would show up, and they already bought basically everything I had. They show up this week, oh, nothing. And when I say show up, I mean I do this market in Palm Springs every Thursday. So they come on Thursdays. Do you have anything new? Nothing. They check the website, nothing new. So they just kind of stopped coming around, or it was just taking too long. And so I decided, instead of using that piece to like restock, why don't I make new products for the customers that were coming back? Because what I noticed was that when I had people that wanted something, if it wasn't available and I was like, you know what, just order it and I'll make it and ship it, it never, like, that didn't happen. Or I'm like, why don't you pay for it now and I'll make it once I get home and I'll ship it to you? They're like, no, I'll just watch on your website. So I make stuff, I put it on the website, and then it just sits there. And I'm like, oh man, I'm stuck with all this inventory. I do a lot of markdowns, trying to just move the product and get them sold. And it just occurred to me that instead of trying, I'm a small business, I don't have the resources to do like just make stuff in bulk and stuff like how like big brands do. I mean, I want to be a big brand one day, but at the moment, realistically, I could not afford to make new products and restock the current product. So I decided to focus more on producing new products so that the people that had already shopped for me, knew my brand, knew what was going on. When they came back looking for more, they had something that they could buy. And that was why I decided to do it that way. So in one word, the reason why I do my teas limited is money. That's the honest truth. I'm not trying to front. I've never tried to front. The reality is I didn't have the money to make new stuff and restock current stuff, so I decided to just make new stuff because the customers that I had that kept coming back, wanted to keep them happy as opposed to trying to chase new people that were not already supporting me, if that makes sense. So If you wanted to find out any more info as to why my teas are limited, that's what it is. They're gonna be limited until maybe, I don't know the future, maybe something happens. And I realized the whole time I was talking to you, my shoulders were up there because this is one of those like subjects that I don't like to talk about. Like, relax, 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 breathe. Okay, so that's really the punchline of why my teas are limited. I'm currently working on a new one. It is going to say aloha. So I have been kind of telling people, hinting it. If you watch this video, it's because you are already subscribed to my email list. So before I release the tea, I send an email out telling you when it's going to be available so you can shop. It's also going to be limited. So if you want the next tea, it's going to say aloha. It's like a minty green because I wanted to lean towards like the greens and like, plant life and all that stuff. That's kind of why I wanted to do it in that color. So aloha is coming soon. I will send out an email letting you know exactly when it's dropping, and we'll go from there. Thank you again for watching, spending your time with me, your Friday with me, and I'll catch you next week on that video. Have a great day.